Okay, so we are making armor out of foam, and I actually have some going on here. We've already done a little bit. That's still wet, so we're not going to mess with it a whole lot. But what we're doing is I've got the basic shape, and I actually have it already molded into shape using my handy dandy disinfecting wipes. So you'll love that. Anyway, what we're going to do is, like the other piece I just showed you, we're just going to lay these triangles onto it, which I've already cut out. This is basic craft foam, really easy, super cheap. It's like $4 for a giant pack of it. So you turn your oven on because you mold these with heat. And we're going to take that off because I did put a little bit of glue on it already. So it doesn't matter what color the foam is, because eventually you're going to paint over it. It's going to be, well, whatever color your armor is going to be. So you take your foam to mold it. It's nice and flat. You hold it over your heat. Now you notice it kind of loses its shape and gets real pliable. And then for this one, I'm going to mold it in the same shape as my base. You kind of smooth it out. Whatever you pick, whatever shape you pick, you kind of want to try to smooth it into that shape so that it holds a little bit better. And you just keep doing it until it's completely cool. If you get this stuff too hot, it does kind of melt and deteriorate and stink and burn. So you kind of have to watch it and be careful. But now you can see it's kind of kept that shape. And we're just going to rinse and repeat on all of these. If you get it too hot, it starts to bubble. Now I've been pushing mine to the point of bubbling because it holds a little better. If you're just starting out, you might kind of do it in stages if you have to. You can always reheat these too if it doesn't quite get the shape you want. But there is a limited amount of time you can do that with this. See? And they just fit right over each other. Again with the thing. My cameraman is sighing at me. I heard it. I do have some help with the camera today. Even if he didn't really want to help me.
Very shaky husband.
Same with that one. Now this one's not really an even piece, but that's okay. You can actually trim after you've kind of glued everything down and it's dried. If you need to, you can trim it. Ouch. I actually got that one a little bit too hot. And be very careful because you can burn yourself very badly here doing it this way. So there's that. Okay? So I'm just going to quickly show you. We're not going to go through all of it because I know my cameraman wants to go. This is the base, and I've actually put a little bit of glue on it, and it's fairly wet. I put a little bit of mixture. This is glue and water mixed together, and you can actually save this. You put a lid on it and it won't dry out on you. Now I don't use that to adhese these, but to do a finish coat when you're all done, I layer it over that, and that's why you see this. If the camera will pick it up, that this is shiny. That actually gets it ready for painting. You do have to go over them sometimes because it tries to kind of pull up, and you don't want that. But you do this about 7 times over the top of it with a paintbrush after you've done, and it gets it ready to be painted. So I've got a paintbrush here. It's a little bit damp from where I did it earlier, but that's alright. This is just good old-fashioned Elmer School glue, non-toxic. It holds just fine if you're doing something that is going to carry a lot of weight on top of whatever you're doing, you might use something different. I would not suggest Gorilla Glue because it gets hard and bubbly.
It doesn't have to be Elmer's glue. It can be any sort of PVA glue.
Thank you. Oh, wise cameraman. And you can take the top off of it, but I tend to get too much glue on. So really liberal amount here, and you just kind of spread it. Now it doesn't matter if you think the whole thing is going to be glued down or not. You do it all over it, and by spreading it out like this, it doesn't get lumpy when it dries. Try not to stick yourself to it. And I would not do this over the top of other materials that you might be going to use. So we take this, and we're going to line it kind of with the center, arrange it with the top, and then we stick it down, and we hold it. Now, notice that's crooked, and that's okay. That's why I like school glues, because before it dries, and because it's a slow drying, you can kind of even it up. Now this one doesn't have to point directly out, because these are going to be covered, they're going to be layered, so it's okay. Now you notice I have just a little bit of show through here. I'm just going to kind of wipe it to the side. You can take the water and water that down too, and it won't make streaks, just depending on what you need. And then we just rinse and repeat, and when it's all done it comes out looking like that, and you put your water and glue solution over the top of it and get it ready for painting. And when I get ready to paint these, we'll video that too. I do want to show you one other thing. Now, I don't put, you can actually cut these out with the armbands in it and just slide your arm in. That is actually the arm. I'm not going to put my arm all the way into it, because I do have a little bit of that water and glue solution on the inside. I don't do it as many times on the inside because I don't paint it, but it just kind of helps it hold up a little bit better, because this stuff can be a little bit delicate. The outside right now is dry, but you let it completely dry in between layers, and about 7 or 8 layers will do it.
Dun, dun,
What is
dun, 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 dun.